And maybe that's why I'm getting the vanilla and a little bit of the caramel. Maybe that's where some of that sweetness is coming from. Oh, shit. Here I'm blabbing. I forgot to add the water. So let's get the water in here. Oh, early morning distractions. Don't tell anybody, but I'm drinking at 7:30 in the morning. I've got a lot of videos to shoot. Welcome to Whiskey's a Journey. My name's Peter Fasciano, and you guys are watching my Monday mini-series on Japanese whiskey. I have 3 Japanese whiskeys left, and then I'm gonna move on to a new series covering rye whiskeys. So if that sounds interesting to you guys and you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Do all those things YouTubers want you to do. So let's go ahead and get into this. Where are we going? Well, we're sticking around the Nikka distilleries. We're looking at Miyagikyo, and this is the Miyagikyo distillery as well. So we're looking at the Miyagikyo Singe Malt. Let's pour it, nose it, taste it, talk about it, and then if you stick around to the end, I'm gonna give it a score. This is coming in at 45% ABV. I do believe it is chill filtered and it's added color as well. This is a 750 milliliter bottle. It is a single malt. It is not age stated. And in Phoenix, Arizona, I paid $88.99 for this. And it's relatively available. I wouldn't say that it's out there all the time, but if you're looking for it, you can find it. Let's get this on the nose and see what we're dealing with. Classic Japanese, crisp and clean. I get a sweet note in here as well. The sweetness is a little bit of vanilla and caramel. Light fruits like pineapple, maybe some apple and maybe some grape, but to me and my nose, I'm getting more pineapple than anything else. But a little bit of apple and a little bit of grape, but dominantly a green grape, but dominantly pineapple. And I know this is an unpeated whiskey, but I am getting brief hints of smoke in here. If you guys had this before and you get smoke on it, let me know in the comments down below. And I don't necessarily know if it's because I had a smoky whiskey last night and I'm shooting this in the morning. Maybe I have peat on my brain, but maybe hints of smoke. Again, classic Japanese, clean and crisp. Let's get it on the palate. First sip. Yeah, immediately, maybe a little bit of smoke on there. That's crazy that they're saying that this is an unpeated whiskey, yet I'm getting smoke. I don't know, I'm confused. Everything that's coming through on the nose is also coming through on the palate. I'm getting a clean, crisp whiskey here. Sweetness, light fruits, vanilla, caramel, pineapple. And on the palate, definitely more of an apple note. Not much grape at all, if anything. Pineapple and apple. That's what I'm going with. And peat. For an unpeated whiskey, I'm certainly getting a lot of peat in here. And maybe it's not peat, maybe it's oak. Yeah, maybe it's oak, not peat. Anyway, let's get that second sip down. Can't trust that first sip anyway. So let's do about 2 more here, and I think we'll get a better idea of what we're dealing with. Yeah, that's oak. That's not peat. I don't know. I am thoroughly confused. This is really good though. Hits the front of the palate sweet, rounds out pretty well. A little bit of sweet and sour in the back. Presence of oak. The caramel, the vanilla, the pineapple is there. I've had this before, but it's been a while, and I don't remember it being as good as it is as I'm tasting it right now. Wow, this is really good. All right, let's get that third sip down. We'll add some water to it and then talk a little bit about Nikka and Miyagikyo. Nothing's changed. Pineapple, sweetness, vanilla, oakiness. It's well-rounded, maybe a little bit sharp here and there, but I wouldn't say that it's overly dramatically sharp. I would say it's more rounded than it is sharp. So the good news here is Miyagikyo and the majority of Nikka whiskeys are meeting the requirements to be called Japanese whiskey. Remember back in February of 2021, the Japan Spirits and Liqueur Makers Association passed the laws or passed the regulations that tell you what could be classified as Japanese whiskey, and this qualifies. As I mentioned before, this is produced in the Miyagikyo distillery. This is Masataka Taketsuru's second distillery. His first one was Yoichi, and then prior to that, he was working with Sanchiro Tori, and he assisted him for 10 years at the Yamazaki distillery before they parted ways. He wanted to open up his distillery in the northern part of Japan because it had the similar characteristics to the Scottish whiskeys that he was actually doing his apprenticeships at or doing his studying. And then in 1969, he went further south of Japan and opened up his second distillery, which was the Miyagikyo distillery. Now, this is, again, considered to be a non-peated expression, and it is matured in ex-sherry and American oak casks. new American oak casks. And maybe that's why I'm getting the vanilla and a little bit of the caramel. Maybe that's where some of that sweetness is coming from. Oh, here I'm blabbing. I forgot to add the water. So let's get the water in here. Oh, early morning distractions. Don't tell anybody, but I'm drinking at 7:30 in the morning. I've got a lot of videos to shoot. All right, I'm gonna let this sit for a second. I'll jump back in about 2 minutes. All right, quick jump there. Let's go ahead and get this on the nose and see if anything has changed with the water. Like I had mentioned before, this is a very classic Japanese whiskey. It's been my experience over the course of the 8 or 9 weeks that I've been doing Japanese whiskey. They all seem to have that same clean, crisp, fragile kind of profile. Some do well with water, others don't. Let's see how this one does. Fruity sweetness now is jumping out in the glass a little bit more than before. Slight amount of pepper, the oak is there. Dominant pineapple, green apple, and what I was getting originally as smoke is no longer there, and I'm thinking that was probably the oak casks. Let's get it on the palate and see if the water did anything to it. All right, I'm getting a little bit more of a spicy note. The sweetness is taking a back seat to the spice. We got some pepper, we got some tannin. Yeah, overall, the spiciness is now the dominant note here. On the back end, the finish seems to be a little bit longer, and maybe that's due to the spice coming out. Let's get a second sip, and then I think I'm ready to give this a score. Yeah, on that second sip, definitely, it solidifies the fact that the sweetness is now taking a back seat to the spice. I get a little bit of effervescence now on the mid palate as it rolls across the tongue, hits the back of the palate, and I would say medium to long finish now. Before the water and the sweetness kind of faded away rather quickly. But now, yeah, this is medium to long. All right, so let's get into the scoring. My scoring system is out of 5 stars. This has a good amount of sweetness, followed by that spice, the oakiness, maybe some hints of smoke or peat, kind of throws it in there, kind of mixes it up. It seems to be a little bit more complex. I'm liking this a whole lot. And because of that, I am going to give this one 3.75 stars. Nice, clean, crisp, fruitiness, spiciness, lingering finish, sweet and sour on the back end. Yeah, this is good. 3.75. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change this to 3.9. Yeah, let's do 3.9. The price on this again was this was $88.99. I think that was with taxes as well in Phoenix, Arizona. Again, Japanese whiskeys across the board seem to be pretty high in general. Whether, in my opinion, whether it's a good or a bad Japanese whiskey, in general, they're high. And with the Yamazaki 12, the Miyagikyo, the Yoichi that I'm going to be doing next, I think these are all kind of hovering around the same price point. Not the Yamazaki 12, but the Miyagikyo and the Yoichi. The Nikka from the barrel. All of these seem to be hovering around that $70, $80 mark. So yeah, I'm gonna change that and give this a 3.9. I think 3.9 is fair. It's definitely rich in flavor, the sweetness, the spice, with and without water, it seems to change it. For me, depending upon if you're a sweet freak, don't add water. If you want a little bit more of a spice, add the water. Mess around with the amounts of water because that can drastically change the profile of it. And I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. So if you like this information and you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'm going live with videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think I'm going to start my Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos in March. So turn that bell notification on. Give me a like if you're liking this information. Share it with somebody in the whiskey world that might get enjoyment out of it. And until the next time, enjoy your journey. We'll talk to you guys later.